This week, we visited Anne McClain, founder of MCMC Perfumes, at her charming Greenpoint studio. We discussed the art of perfumery and the deeply personal relationship between scent and memory.
My name is Anne McClain, and my company is MCMC Fragrances. We make small batch perfumes, perfume oils, and candles.
How did you get started and what attracted you to fragrance?
I first moved to the city right after college, and I was an art major, mostly focusing on photography. And I love to travel. When you travel, you seem to really lose yourself and expand who you are inside, kind of. And I was really trying to capture those feelings in photography because I'm kind of like a memory hoarder as well. And I came to the city and I just started working, and I was like a project manager at a design firm, and I was kind of losing touch with that artistic side of myself. So I was taking some classes here and there. Very randomly one night I took a natural perfume class, and I just fell in love so hard. It was just a one evening class, and I was just like, this is what I want to do forever. I became really obsessed. And then eventually I got serious enough that I applied to a perfume school in France, and that was when things really started.
You know, it's so interesting that you said that about how you are like a memory hoarder and how that was such a sort of deep part of your inspiration, because scent and memory are so tied.
Talk to us a little bit about your process to creating a scent.
All of these fragrances are based on a very particular moment in my life or a person. And so usually it's like marinating in my mind for a while before I actually start making anything. And while it's marinating, I'm trying to get really precise because there's so many options with perfume. I call it like the backbone ingredients, so I know the major notes that are going to be in it. And then there's accessory notes, and then there's kind of technical notes to make it all work as one thing. It's art and science because a lot of it is your creativity and what you want to make. And then once you actually start getting into the nitty-gritty, it's super precise. And I use these digital scales, and it's like you're working with 1/100th of a gram.
Is there a way that you sort of reset your nose and your palate when you're smelling different scents in your creative process?
When I was in school, the way we did it was the first 3 months was only learning new ingredients. So every single day we had to learn 10 to 15 new ingredients and learn to memorize them. Every day we were quizzed on the cumulative of them all. So by day 10, we knew 100 ingredients, and we would randomly be quizzed on 10 and have to name them from memory. And really the only way to cleanse your nose is to like go out and smell fresh air and totally remove yourself from the situation.
Is there an art to smelling?
Normally what I find is that, you know, when I'm just like showing friends stuff, or even I've taught some perfume classes, I will hand someone a strip and they'll go, I like it or I don't like it. And with perfume, it's really important to not make a snap judgment based on like or not like, because it really doesn't matter. It's just a tool. And so when you're smelling something, it's important to just like, you kind of just go really deep into it, you know, and there's like the first impression that it gives, and then you can start to smell like different nuances in it. Each ingredient has like different sets of molecules, and depending on the weight of each molecule, that note will kind of dissipate and only the heavy ones remain. So it really changes a lot over time.
One woman will wear a scent and the other one will wear the same exact scent, and it just smells totally different. And it's the relationship is different for each, and it's such a personal thing when you choose a scent that you love, and how it's like sort of a relationship.
Yeah, it is. It has to do with like your body temperature, the other things you have on, how moist your skin is. And I think that's why people have a hard time buying perfume. It's not an easy purchase for people, you know, because you really feel like you have to connect to that perfume.
Tell me about the ingredients that you use and where you find them and how you make them.
The ingredients come from everywhere. You know, we use pink pepper from Kenya. We use patchouli from Indonesia. Our vetiver comes from Haiti. We have Moroccan rose and Bulgarian rose. And hundreds of countries.
You fell passionately in love with perfume.
Yeah.
You thought about it for 2 years, taking classes here and there. Finally went to school in France for it. Fantasized about this business that you knew you wanted to start.
Yeah.
And then what? How did you, and like then what were the steps you took?
There was no other option for me. You know, it's just like, I just knew inside that this is what I wanted to do. And so I just did everything. I incorporated while I was in France. Like, I was about to graduate in a month, and I sent the papers from there. The first batch I made, I was still working from home, and I just made a batch. I ordered like a dozen bottles or something. I made the perfume. I put them in like a nice bag, and I walked down to Bedford Avenue, and I walked into a few stores, and I asked if they wanted to carry them. And at the time there were 2 stores in Williamsburg that said yes, and I had a business. But yeah, everything was a challenge. Even the first time I wrote an invoice to the stores, you know, I think I just opened up a Word document and I just wrote what was on it, and I was like, oh, who pays for shipping? Like, I don't know, you know. Like, so it was just blind naivety and like courage.
Talk to us a little bit about how to wear a perfume, where to wear it, how much, and sort of how to find the right scent.
Okay.
For you.
What kind of perfumes do you guys wear normally?
I wear jasmine.
Okay.
And like vanilla, like I guess like sort of warmer.
Okay.
And
scents.
I would say that I sort of gravitate towards more masculine scents. I don't really know exactly what that would be, but like cedars and things like that.
Okay, before you go and put it on your skin, because you might want to try on multiple things at one time, I would use one of the sticks that they have and put it on there first. So because what you guys said, we'll try Hunter first. So Hunter is a little more on the unisex side. It has tobacco, but it also has a really warm, rich bourbon vanilla in it. So I'd give it a good spray, and then just kind of smell it. And then you said you like jasmine, so there's Noble, which is Noble was inspired by some time I spent in Nepal. So it's a coupling of jasmine and incense. Ooh. And this one, it smells pretty different on actually, because it has a lot of musk in it. So it tends to wear very nicely on skin. So we make our perfumes in 2 formats. So we do an alcohol spray, and then we do also an organic oil roll-on. A lot of our customers like the oil roll-ons because it's a much more intimate experience, and you just kind of dab it on yourself like that and rub it in, and this way you can it's not like this big wafting, overpowering thing. It's kind of like, it's a little more personal and it's for yourself, and you can reapply throughout the day. And then just dab some on, and it's, the oil won't last as long on your skin, so you can really kind of roll it on. Or if you wanted to go for a spray, I would be generous, you know? Yeah.
You know what you were saying before about how traveling made you like grow on the inside?
Yeah.
Sort of scents and scent combinations, if you really go deep into it, does the same thing. It really creates the space, and
it's very meditative. Is like when I'm actually making a perfume, when I'm sitting down and working, which is usually, now I like to do it on Saturday mornings. That's my like special creative time. It's such a deep process. You know, you're totally, I do it silent. I usually don't listen to music or anything. And it's not a visual experience at all, which is what I'm used to the most, you know, or like taste or something. It's not a social experience. It's just you and the smell, and so you really go like into the interior.